Welcome to another episode of Everybody's Got Something. I'm your host, Seth Hoffman. Today on the show we have Stoney Blue Fire Flame Lyricist and Jen Chavez-Miller, New Mexico teacher. Let's get into it and have a good time.
Man.
All right, Stoney
doing,
Blue.
man?
Pleasure to have you here. First, why don't you just tell the folks out there who you are, what you do, what you love in life?
Man, I'm a father, I'm an artist, I'm a self-made hustler, and I'm a person of the people.
Beautiful, beautiful. And let's talk about when the first night when we met some months back.
At the hall, yeah. Big ups to the hall, man.
Yes.
Take my head off to y'all.
Yes.
You know
It's
what I'm
a special place, man. A lot of special people.
Big ups my guy Elijah Tafari, you know what I'm saying? He in the studio with us right now, man. He's definitely a great influence, and we've been great influences on each other. And he brought me out, he hit my phone up and asked me to come out to the hall that night. That's how I ended up.
That's how you ended up there?
Yep.
Is that right?
Well, I actually been performing there all through the year and last year, That's why I said I actually did a showcase of my own there this year.
Yes.
So yeah, the hall is like one of those places where it's like where homegrown talent and talent from other places go there and showcase themselves.
Yes, I've never been to a place quite like it. It's a very special place, just authentic people, good people. And so were you, when you were a kid, were you performing something that was natural to you? Did you come to it later? Were you a shy kid? Were you always outgoing?
I definitely was the shy kid growing up.
You were not the shy kid?
No, I was.
You were the shy kid?
Yeah, I used to walk around school with my head down. I ain't like the physical interaction with people. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so introverted, so nonchalant. So, it's a reason for that because when I was 13, my father passed away, and I was writing a poem. Thank you. Yeah. I was writing a poem in his memory, and the poem turned into a rap song, and that's how I ended up becoming Stoney from one of my homeboys from the hood, big old Jonestown, Mississippi, all day CMP. He basically got on the school bus. He like, man, I'm gonna call you Burger. And I was like, nah.
I'm gonna call you what?
Burger.
Burger?
Yeah, like a burger
like
you
burger,
eat.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, bro, that's whack, bro.
Don't call me Burger.
I was straight on that.
Okay.
So the very next day, he got on the bus, eyes big. Hey, man. Okay, I'm looking at the camera. Hey, man. Hey, I got it. It's this movie I seen last night called Encino Man. It's the dude named Stoney. He said, buddy. And that's how I got the name.
That's where it came.
That's where it came from.
Okay.
So big ups to Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pauly Shore, I'm a fan of yours. Show some love, man. I'm trying to meet you. Come to Albuquerque. Do a comedy show or something so I can let you know how I became Stoney if it wasn't for you. Thank you for being funny as you was through the 90s, Biodome, you know what I'm saying, the Army Now.
Son-in-law, yeah.
Encino Man, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Pauly Shore is part of my childhood. So.
Yes. And so tell me a little bit more how you came into the world. What was it? Where did you start off in this lifetime?
Well, I came out my mama first.
Oh,
but
I hope so.
Yes, indeed. I tell everybody this story. I'm a Cali Shy-Sipian. I'm going to tell you why.
Cali Shy-Sipian, okay.
My mama got pregnant in San Diego.
Okay.
Right? But she gave birth to me in Chicago. But 5 years after that, you're moving with your auntie, you're going to Mississippi, not Bel Air.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I went the opposite direction of Will Smith. You feel, you the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, I was Fresh Prince of Jonestown, Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? So I end up down there, and I found out that majority of my family that's in Mississippi is from Chicago, and majority of my family from Chicago have family in Mississippi. So we all one and the same.
Incredible.
So I can't just say I'm from Chicago, from Mississippi. I'm from them both.
Yes.
But the Cali part is where my mama conceived me at, so I can't just ignore that part.
Sure.
So Cali Shy-Sipian.
I like it.
That's
I like
me.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So I'm curious. So you said as a child you were introverted. What kind of caused the transformation? Because if someone meets you now, they would probably not describe you as shy and introverted.
Because I don't believe in paying nobody to promote my music. I promote myself, so I have to open up and be a people person. You know what I'm saying? And introduce myself. So I became a great networker now because of that. So I network with people, famous people and local people. You know, I just love the culture. You know, I love the culture. I love to celebrate it. Hip hop, that is. But hip hop culture ain't just only for people of my skin color. It's for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But what I do now is called hip hope. I put an E on it because it's hip hop for everybody. So you can be the oldest person, you can be the youngest person, you can be my peer, you can be a teacher, you can be a instructor, educator, enlightener, and it's for everyone. It don't discriminate from no one. So
And can you tell us a little bit about the piece that you're going to be performing?
Old school vibes.
Basically, it's describing my love for lowriders. When I was a kid, you know, I used to get in trouble because they had to have, you know, clothed women on the covers with the cars. So I'm a kid and I'm reading these books in the grocery store, and other parents looking at my mama like, what is you doing? Like, what is you letting him look at? And she'll, you know, pop me in my hand and discipline me in the store in front of everybody. But the whole time, it was just the love of the cars, the love of what they did. And once I come to Albuquerque, which is the home, well, not Albuquerque, but Espanola. Espanola is the home of lowriders.
I heard.
I used to think it was California. Okay. So when I discovered that fact, I said I'm gonna do a homage song for lowriders in Albuquerque. So it's called Old School Vibes. Y'all subscribe to Stoney on YouTube, and y'all can go check out that video anytime y'all get ready.
All right, let's check it out.
Yeah. It's for the lowriders. The lowrider community. Stoney Blue, Fire Flame. Let's go. Old school vibes, old school ride, playing music they provide, cruising boulevards and drives. Old school vibes, old school ride, playing music they provide, cruising boulevards and drives. Old school vibes, old school rides, old school rides, old school vibes. Hey. Old school vibes. Listen. Old school vibes. El Caminos, Monte Carlos, ride with your kin folks by the carload. Ride downtown, ride real slow. Make sure everybody see me though. Ride old schools, ride low pros with the old pros. Even got Dayton's on gold. Even with the hammers and the crackers on spokes. Like Texas 4484s. Feel like Paul Wall, feel like Mike Jones, feel like Slim Thug. Cut my lights on, cut my beam on. I be in the zone. She said that she like me, like my skin tone. Old school rides, Central Avenue. 505 from the 662. Reppin' Mississippi, yeah, you know the busy. Yeah, I got Bone Thug, Harmony like busy. Old school rides, old school vibe, playing music they provide, cruising boulevards and drives. Old school vibes, old school ride, playing music they provide, cruising boulevards and drives. Old school vibes, old school vibes, old school rides, old school vibes. Hey. Old school vibes. Yeah. Old school vibes. Stoney Blue, Fire Flame. Yeah. 505, what it do? 62, what it do? Rapping blues.
All right. Well, you are quite an incredible performer. The energy you have, it's contagious. I mean, I think it must be when you are performing, you just lift the spirits of those around you. It's a gift you have, my friend.
Since 2010, I came up with this phrase called bar check. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people know me for. But I always was known to freestyle. Like, I love to write too.
Yeah.
But
freestyling just, I don't know, it just brings out the best of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I hear a beat, some old school, whether it be country, jazz, rock and roll, R&B, the blues, I do my own remixes to it. You know, Stoney B mix, Stoney B style. Instead of freestyle, Stoney B style, you know, and it's something that I include all over the world. I go live on, you know, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and other rappers, other singers, they join my live and we do a freestyle. You remember like they used to be, you know, when people used to do that at school and beat on the cafeterias and tables and everybody join in, I'm bringing that feeling back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why bar check is so vital and important.
Yes. And do you remember the first time you freestyled? The first time, or the first time that you just thought, okay, this is something that I do or that I want to do?
Well, I know it was on that school bus where I told you I got my name from.
Yeah.
But the first freestyle,
like even by yourself, maybe with I don't know if you ever did.
Like I say, one of the biggest freestyles I done when I used to go to CCC in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Well, I attended the high school, big ups to Aggie. You know what I'm saying? Kahoma Agriculture High School, and it was a leak in our homeroom building that morning. So everybody, you know, we have a college there too because it's the first black college in the Mississippi Delta. Where my great-granddad was the first valedictorian for.
Wow.
That's who I'm named after.
Incredible.
And pretty much it was everybody from the 9th grade, 10, 11, 12, and college personnel in there in this building called the Pinnacle. So we in there, you know, we waiting on them to fix the leak in our building. One of my homeboys, he just started. He started doing that, and I started freestyling, and everybody was like, oh! And they started coming, or you know what I'm saying? Everybody started moving up the stands and steps, and I started a freestyle session. That was the very first big bar check that I ever done in life.
How old were you at that time?
Ninth grade year old.
14 or 15, something like that.
I'm gonna say 9th grade year old, because I'm an 85er, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, 9th grade year old. Yeah, pretty much I was like 15, 16, 17. And everybody knew me in the communities. I even go to churches and rap, you know, actual churches. Not the restaurant, but I love y'all biscuits. I love y'all honey biscuits. Churches, keep them coming. Churches, universities, block parties, house parties, anywhere that I'm available to perform it. Hey, and this for y'all too. If y'all got a quinceanera or anything coming up, y'all hire Stoney Blue. I'm the man for the job. And I love to keep people involved in music. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be grunge music, garage music, yard music, international music. It's a bar check everywhere. It's not just limited to America. It's a worldwide thing.
Yes. And have you been other parts outside of, where have some of your travels taken you, some places
I
that
definitely
you've
went
been
to Iraq when I was in the military. I did 5 years in the Army. And that's what I want to talk about.
Yes, please.
I moved here officially in 2017, but the first time I came to New Mexico was through the military in 2007. I came here and received training in the UFC. You know what I'm saying?
Is that right?
Yeah, UFC fight school with the military. You know what I'm saying? So they taught us combatives. I got my license in combatives and a whole lot of other things.
Yes.
But New Mexico, they were like, who want to be the first one to go here? You know, I'm in Mississippi with the unit. Yeah. They're like, who want to go to New Mexico? I'm the first one, like, me? You know what I'm saying? So I get here, we in Santa Fe. And we stayed there for a week there where the fight school at. So I was the only one without a debit card or whatever through the military. So I couldn't attain the room. So they like, let's go to Albuquerque for one day before we move here.
Yeah.
So I got to see 13 people walking down the street together, passing each other 99-cent bottles, weapons, cigarettes, just you name it. They just walking down the street together. And I'm like,
this looked like the Wizard of Oz of America. So I gave y'all the nickname Wizard of Oz of America by that one experience. And someone heard me freestyle. Shout out to my guy Ivory Lynch. He heard me freestyle, and we both was in the military together. And he was like, man, I got some kids and a wife out here, man. When you come back out here to, I'm gonna get you out here to New Mexico, man. They need to hear you freestyle. They need to hear you rap, man. And even the military recognized me for rapping.
Yeah.
You know, when I was overseas, they knocked on my door and they was like, we want you to do a rap for the military. So I rapped in front of 50,000 plus people.
Wow.
Yep.
And do you remember what that felt like? I can't imagine what must have felt surreal.
Exhilarating, very exhilarating. I felt real proud to not just only be American, but to be an MC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy to freestyle. Like, it's easy to freestyle, but it's not easy to keep the listener. To keep it going, to keep the listener engaged.
Yeah.
Can you say something that's prolific without stumbling over yourself?
Right.
And when you stumble, can you pick yourself back up? Can you rap without repeating yourself all the time?
Yes.
A yoga. Like, it's more words than yoga and booger and mugger, you know, just saying.
Do you have a inspiration? Can you think of anyone who has been a personal inspiration or someone who you heard freestyle that from a young age or even till today that you really just motivates you or makes you want to do it?
Just the TV show, Yo MTV Raps, Rap City, The Basement, 106 in Park, MTV when they did the show. Shout out my guy Recognized from Mayday and Burns. I met them in real life because I'm a huge fan of Tech Nine and, you know, Strange Music just in general, you know, just for being independent powerhouses. And that's how I look at, you know, the rap game. It took me 10 years for people to recognize my name because I kept putting in that work. I kept going when people was like, Don, don't do that, don't do that. You're not going to be recognized. You know, I don't like the word no. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's for a probable cause. Yeah. When you tell someone no, you closing a door and opening another one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if we ain't gonna work together, guess what? I'm gonna work on me, and I'm gonna keep on going whether you don't want to work with me or not. So that's how I got to the position where I'm at. It's still 1% CNP crazy. Long live Mac 11, Thasio, all the homies, Fazo, Trill. Jonestown, Mississippi in general, we have so much talent, just like New Mexico. That's why I did the EP called New Mississippi, because I combined it our states as far as promotion, production, and features.
Yes.
You know? So yeah, man, it's time that people recognize New Mexico on a hip hop scale as well as Mississippi. So I ended up coming out here because I was dealing with some charity, well, not charity, but child issues. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to take my kids away from me in Mississippi.
Yes.
And I'm a veteran now. I didn't get dishonorable discharge or nothing. I just was going through a good man in a bad situation, pretty much. Yes. And you know, I got exiled from Mississippi. I couldn't even get a job and work for my kids. So I moved here. They told me if I don't get proof that I'm going to the VA, they're gonna take my kids from me. So me and my homie, we drive 15 hours there and back. But I came here on a bus. But I met a woman, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Carm. I met a woman and she knew what I was going through when we first met. Yeah. So she drove me back to Mississippi. So that 15 hours going, 15 hours back. And I went 2 years without my kids the first 2 years I was here. So I had to do video calls with them. And I ended up winning my kids back 100% on a court call through Facebook Messenger.
Are you kidding?
Not at all.
Wow. And how old is your child?
I got three. I got 2 boys, 1 girl, 16, 11, and 10 years old. And
what's fatherhood like for you? What are some things you've learned about? Have you learned about yourself and learned about life through that?
Well, I already had like great examples of parents before me. Yes. So
I ain't gonna say it was a breeze. It's not a breeze raising kids, but as long as you love it and be consistent with it every day, you'll get better as a parent.
Yeah.
You know, like the more we do things, the more we learn how to do them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so it's fun, man. Especially they love Albuquerque. They love it out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Sunshine, sometimes rain, sometimes snow. You know, but you know the bipolarness of the weather here is what makes it fun too.
Yes.
You know.
And everywhere you look, it's humbling views all around.
Especially the mountains, you know, and the peaks here, the peaks and valleys and man, hills. Is the sunsets, man. I love to get up. I want to go on record saying this. I love to wake up in the morning and see those beautiful New Mexico sunrises and smoke weed. I love it.
I know you're up early because we've had some message exchanges. I'm like, oh, he's up early or late. I don't know.
Right, because I have to be an early bird and a night owl. I'm up early because I'm a single father, so ain't nobody helping me get these kids up like me. And once they go to sleep, it's daddy time now. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm focusing on networking. Sometimes I'll be up all night writing. I love to write.
And are you a pencil and paper on your phone? How do you create best?
All of it. Like sometimes I might write something on my phone, and I take that and write it. Like I'm still traditional. I still believe in going to the studio. Like, okay, these young kids, y'all do this band lab, band camp stuff. I don't do that. I go to the studio and actually still record and then send it to you. I don't believe in letting, you know, technology work for me. You know, like that auto-tune stuff. No, I'm from an era where hip-hop used to be distinguished by your voice. Yeah. But a lot of people use auto-tune and it gives everybody that same sound of voice. Now, who's distinctive? Who stands out? Yeah. The reason I know I stand out today because of my concepts. I'm a conceptual artist. Yes. So I like to talk about things that nobody likes to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
And so I think we're gonna play a video.
Okay.
Can you tell us what we're gonna be seeing?
Man, let me put my most Mississippi-est accent on.
This for the
old
low rider
vibes, man.
The low rider coach.
Stoney Beats. Filmed by Juan Ortiz. Yeah.
Old school vibes, playing music they provide, cruising boulevards and drives. Yeah. Old school vibes, playing music they provide, cruising boulevards and drives.
So this is in Mississippi right here that we're on?
Oh no, this is actually on the other side of this building.
That's what I was gonna say.
Right there in this parking lot right there.
Old school vibes.
El Caminos, Monte Carlos, ride with your kin folks by the carload. Ride downtown, ride real slow. Make sure everybody see me though. Ride 2 miles, ride old school on the slow pros. Even got the Dayton's on go. Even with the hammers and the crackers on spokes. Like Texas 4-4.
Beautiful. And when was this produced? Beautiful.
Like 2.5 months ago. Funny story about this, about the music. I actually was on YouTube and just listening to this producer. I didn't meet him, or no, I still haven't met him. He's from Morocco, named Old Solar Beats. I actually, you know how people post videos of them rapping to songs and stuff. Sure. So I posted me rapping about my long live my great grandma, Lily Mae Wilder. I love you all day. She lived to 102 years old. She was Cherokee, and she definitely was a very educated woman. That's how I learned how to be educated too. And I pretty much, when I posted the video, it was a year ago, and he heard it. And when he heard it, he was like, man, this needs to be in the world. This is real hip hop. So pretty much any beat that I wanted from his catalog, he sent it to me. And we're working on an album right now. It's called Rapping Blues, you know what I'm saying? But nothing to deal with fentanyl. Fentanyl is a crisis, and I pray to all the victims and family of victims that suffer through fentanyl to recover and be back to be at their best ability.
Amen.
So yeah, just like Mississippi, we have people that deal with a lot of drug issues that nobody speak about or try to, it's not enough facilities, you know what I'm saying, to help people rehabilitate. I got personal people going through it too. So I speak out, I advocate on the low for certain issues and certain movements out here. So man, keep it righteous, keep it powerful, and be yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Pretty much when he heard the songs Old Solar Beats, now we are good friends on social media. We talk on a regular just like how me and you do. And yeah, we working on the album. I haven't came out with a release date yet, but I'm just dropping singles for it. And that's the first single, y'all just.
I mean, that's one of the things, like with all the craziness in life, to have something you're working on that you're excited about, I think that's that's like the lottery right there. Like we hope whatever it turns into be will make millions of dollars, but to be working on something that you're passionate about, that you're excited about that's I think the tops.
Like, I want to say this, a lot of people are very emotional about their music. Well, I'm devotional about mine. That's why I broke out of my shell from being so shy-faced and stuff, because I wanted people to know that my music is authentic and you don't have to go through another person to hear my stuff. I will be direct with you, you know what I'm saying? You don't achieve success until you leave the nest. That's why when you be in your hometown or your home state, you're not going to receive as much love as you're going to receive when you go everywhere else, because people been knowing you in your community all your life. Yes. They know what to expect from you, but they don't know what to expect from you. But when you meet strangers, they don't expect nothing at all. Yeah. So it's more pleasable to succeed in places that you ain't from.
Yeah, and there's probably a freedom you have. I don't know if you experience this with people who've known you forever. We kind of, well, this is who I am. But when it's someone who's never known you, and you can be whoever you want, or not that it's not you, but another part of you can come out, not the same old part that people know. So this album's coming out. What are some of the things that you vision for your future? Things you're excited about, things that you want to make happen, or just that. What are you looking towards?
I just stepped into the modeling world last week. I just made my modeling debut.
Congratulations! Well, you're a handsome dude. I'm sure you do very well. I'm sure.
I don't know how to take that, but thank you.
That's all right. I'm married.
But nah, realistically, I love style, fashion. Yeah. What these young people call drip. I'm all about fashion sense. I got it. It was passed down through my relatives. Like, I look up to my mother. She's someone that's a very, very fashion rebel. Yeah. My daughter, she love fashion too. Like, I ain't even got to tell her what to put on. Yeah. She just know how to put it on. Yeah. She just know how. Yeah. And it was so wonderful to be in a different lane other than just music for a minute, just to experience what models go through. Just trying to put on that right outfit, go out there and they pose. It was just a different world for me. Yeah. And I can't wait to do more modeling gigs and stuff. Cool. Also, I'm into hats. You know what I'm saying? I'm so into hats. If you know me, I'm a hat person. I plan on starting my own hat business, you know what I'm saying? I haven't came up with the official name yet, but we're going to be doing custom-made hats. We're going to be doing hat cleaning. I love to clean hats, too. Keep your beanie on right, pretty much producing different types of hats, fedoras, beanies, you know what I'm saying? Yes. I just like the concepts of hat accessories, you know what I'm saying? Sure. And plus, you know how everybody got a certain shaped head? Well, my head ain't right for, my head is shaped right for the hat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and when I was younger, my mama, she cut my hair right. I guess this is trolling before trolling. She cut my hair and gave me the Mo from Three Stooges hairstyle and sent me to school like that. So I learned my sense of humor from having to defend myself.
Yeah, so she did you a favor. She taught you taught you to think on your toes early.
Right. And I'm like that with my kids too. So when they come downstairs with some whack clothes on, I'll be like, oh, change that, boy. You look like a barbecue raccoon. Like, cut that out. Like, take that off. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much sense of humor runs my life as well as music. You know.
Yes. Well, Stoney Blue, I can't thank you enough for sharing your story, and I hope you'll come back again and continue to tell us what you're working on. And God bless you. God bless everything you are creating, your family, your kids, and just a pleasure to know you. And we're gonna post links so we can let people know how to find you, how to hear you, and just all the best, my friend. It is a true honor.
Man, and I want to say this before we get up out of here, 505-575-662, I love y'all. And if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't have my kids back in my life. So I'm forever indebted to the state of New Mexico. Yep.
All right, we are here with Jen Chavez-Miller, my teaching inspiration, the legend, if I dare say. We've known each other and talked together over the years, and I finally get a chance to sit down and really hear your story, how you began teaching, and the many places it's taken you. So I wonder if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, Seth, I'm so happy to see you. Yeah, I'm from Albuquerque. I'm from my grandparents. I'm from my Aunt Tina, who I call every night when I leave class, when I'm teaching. I'm from my daughter, Sarah. I'm from my husband, Brian. And I'm from a lot of kiddos and a lot of adults I've had the privilege of working with over the years.
Can you even just imagine, I'm sure I don't know if you can estimate how many hundreds, thousands of paths you've crossed and lives you've touched and who've touched your life.
It's humbling. It's humbling to know from students and their families. It is, it's a privilege, isn't it?
Yes. Well, I would love to hear the story of your journey teaching and the places it's taken you, because I know it's taken you to some special places, which is one of the amazing things about people don't realize the life of a teacher can take you so many places. So maybe you could tell us how did this world journey begin?
Yeah, I mean, who knew, right? But I'm one of those teachers who always loved school. I started school right down the road at St. Mary's preschool, and so I just always loved going. So I would go to school, and then I would come home and I would play school. So I was the teacher, and I would make worksheets, and then I would turn into the student, and I would do the worksheet, and then I would turn back into the teacher, and I would grade the worksheet.
So you kind of knew, and did you think, oh, when I grew up, or did you just have a clear vision?
I don't know if I ever thought, actually, let me say this. I don't know if there was ever a time I didn't think I would be a teacher.
Okay.
I think I was just emulating people who I loved, and seeing people who got to do really fun things. And in the 70s, it was watching teachers with paper and Scotch tape and crayons. And so that's kind of what I always equated teaching with, was the way you got to be creative, and the way you got to kind of make some magic.
And I'm sure there were many, but if I just asked you to think of one that comes to mind of a teacher that really inspired you, or that made you think, wow, that's I would like to be like this.
Yeah. I had a lot of great teachers. I'm really lucky. And I'm thinking about my choir teacher in junior high school, David T. Smith.
Okay.
He still lives in Las Vegas, Nevada, where my family had moved for a few years. And I think what he inspired in me was caring, caring for students. He was passionate about music, passionate about teaching choral music, and he cared. And he saw something in me, I think, when I really needed someone to see that. Yeah.
You said something that could, I just want to pause on that every aspiring teacher and current teacher, just what you said, like the fuel behind all great teachers, I think, is that caring, and to care and have your students feel that is something that I don't think can ever be emphasized enough.
I think you're right, and my career as a teacher has included the last 6 years teaching teachers, working with teachers, and so many of them have stories of having had teachers who cared about them. And it's never about the lessons they were taught. It was never about the homework that they went home with. It was really about the teachers caring about them. But I also have a good amount of students who come to teaching because they didn't have that. And they want to be that person for other students. So I really admire, respect, and I'm really grateful that they are able to see what was missing and that they have it in them to provide it for someone else.
Yes, and so having taught so many years and having such experience to work with people who don't have that, is it sometimes hard to kind of take yourself out of, or to imagine that world of like, okay, imagine none of these experiences, not knowing any of these things, because so many things must seem like, oh, of course, well, you should do this, or this would be a good choice in this situation. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I love that. And I think what I've learned is we all come to the classroom through different paths, right? What brings us to the classroom are our own journeys, our own experiences, our own perspective. I think that there are things that we teachers have in common, right? I think caring is one of them. Liking, respecting, loving children, I think is really, really important. And then I think the idea of what each, everybody's got something, every teacher has a story, every teacher has something to give, and every teacher has the opportunity to see that in each student as we go along. And not every teacher connects with every kid every year. But I think that's what's great about teaching, right? There's many of us in a kiddo's life that they get the opportunity to intersect with lots of different teachers. We get to intersect with lots of different kiddos through their lives so that we can make those connections.
Yeah. And what was it like as your career started? Was there a big learning curve, or was it like when you first got there, like, I am a natural, I am so good at this? Or was there some bumps? Were there any moments that you thought, well, maybe I'm not cut out for this? Or what were the early days like for you?
I don't think I thought that I was a natural, but I know that I felt like I was where I wanted to be and where I belonged. And so lots of us went through teacher education programs, which a lot of folks don't do anymore. Often teachers come into the classroom through alternative licensure pathways. So I feel kind of like an old school teacher in that way, having gone through a teacher ed program, student teaching. And when I started teaching at Taft Middle School in the North Valley, 8th grade, I felt like I was with my people, with middle schoolers. I felt like I was with my people with other teachers, even though I felt really intimidated by the other teachers down the hall. And I also felt like it was familiar, yet different, because I was on the other side. So I had a lot of opportunity to learn from colleagues. I started a master's program, my second year of teaching, where we got to talk about teaching. So we got to talk about teaching, and then I went to go teach, and then I got to go talk about teaching, right? So I felt like I got to learn pretty fast, both theory put into practice, that beautiful blend of pedagogy, so that I could, so I felt like I was on a learning curve in an upward trajectory.
Yes. And the first school you were at, were you there many years? What's kind of the breakdown of the different chapters of? I was at Taft Middle School for 4.5 years in the North Valley. Beautiful community. I loved being there. And then I took the opportunity to go up to Jemez Valley High School for a year, so I taught up there. Which, and just out of curiosity, how did that transition or that decision come?
Yeah, I think my husband was working on a PhD here at UNM, and was thinking about maybe either working in Los Alamos, possibly here in Albuquerque at Sandia, and so maybe starting to make my way into like the mountain chain, right? The Jemez mountain chain. I had a friend who knew someone who was teaching out there. They needed a teacher, so I took a leap of faith.
Okay. That must have been a big transition.
It was a big leap of faith. It was a hour each way drive. Beautiful, beautiful drive.
Okay, so you didn't live there.
Oh, no.
Okay,
it was kind of like trying it out.
Gotcha.
And also trying out high school.
Sure.
So I'd been teaching middle school for a few years. High school is different. Not my people.
Yes.
I wonder if I would be better at it now.
Yes.
But it wasn't. And I had a great year there. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about how communities really need teachers in and from their communities.
Yes.
So it was kind of a hard edge, right?
Yes,
like I felt like the kiddos had a sense that teachers came in and out of their lives and they were expecting me to do the same. And I didn't stay long. My husband and I decided to, we were in the process of adopting our daughter, and I felt like I couldn't be a mountain chain away. So I transitioned over to Rio Rancho Public Schools, and I worked as an educational technology specialist for a couple years, which was great because I got to do a lot of tech stuff and learned how to use a lot of tools to fix printers. I got to teach technology lessons. That's when laptops were coming into the schools, if we can remember that. And we were teaching kids how to use laptops for the first time, and we were teaching teachers how to teach kids how to use technology. So it was a super exciting time. And it was great because I got to job share for a couple years when my daughter was little. So it was just a real privilege. I was incredibly fortunate to be able to do that. And then I had it in my head that I was going to start a PhD program. So I started that, and I started teaching at New Mexico Highlands as an adjunct. And then I started supervising student teachers. And that's when I realized I was going home and doing homework, and the teachers were having a lot more fun than I was. And so I decided to go back to the classroom and try elementary school. And I think I wanted to try elementary because I had a little one. Right? She was about 3 years old maybe. So I was kind of in the zone of little people. And so taking a job at Mountain Mahogany Community School, teaching second grade, was really, really different. I had trained in elementary, but I had only taught secondary up to that point as a classroom teacher.
And that was a fairly new school at the time?
Third year, I had come in. You know, the kiddos that I started out with in second grade, they were the founding children of Mountain Mahogany in kindergarten. So when I met them in second grade, they were connected to each other and connected very much to this school, like to this land that the school was on, to the community that it was.
The culture, the school had its own culture.
And that was a steep learning curve for me, not coming from this place and this culture with these students, but gosh, wasn't it a good ride? And that's where our paths connected. And I had the opportunity to teach that group of kids, second, third, fourth. So those were my years that I taught elementary, and it was just with those group of kiddos. I called them my golden group because we grew a lot together. And
it's a number of years to be with them.
It was really, really, I mean, you got to loop with kids too there. And it's something, right? Because you develop deep relationships with kids, deep relationships with families. You celebrate, you mourn, you go through life together. And it was, it was joy. It was not always easy. But that's where I learned about singing with kids. Because
is that right? Because music has been a big part of your life and singing.
For sure.
But you're saying before that didn't cross
into the classroom. I think teaching in a traditional middle school classroom, it just never was something that I saw as a model, and I just couldn't imagine how people would take it.
Right.
So when I got to Mountain Mahogany and I got to second grade, it was finding kind of my another teacher love language that I had, and I loved that. I loved being able to sing with the kids, and I loved the arts integration that we had at this school. I loved the hands-on perspective. I got to learn a lot. I learned how to teach in a new and profound way. And there was just a lot of joy, that came out of those years. It really was.
Out of curiosity, do you use any of the singing as you're working with teachers? It's sometimes easier to sing in front of kids, but to kind of plant that seed, because maybe there's other teachers who are thinking, oh, I can't do this. They love music, but maybe they're thinking, this is not an area I should stay professional and stick to the standards and this and that.
I love that you asked that because I haven't. And I'm thinking about even when I taught middle school at Mount Mahogany, when I moved into middle school at Mount Mahogany and I taught the first 6th grade class, and we sang every morning. And that transition from first semester 6th grade when we were all singing to second semester, 6th grade, when it was me and like one kiddo named Chris that were kind of doing the morning song. And kind of a natural evolution kind of out of that of singing together. Music, I think, was still a part of the classroom. But I really love that you said that, because I think my teaching after Mount Mahogany kind of popped me right out of that. It seemed like it was, maybe it shouldn't have, but it did in that way.
I know sometimes when you go, it's hard to sometimes go back into that, because it's like, oh, I don't know, I could do that, or but maybe something to consider.
Yeah, I think you're right. I hadn't really thought about it that way, and I'm really thinking about what is it, and it's probably an idea of feeling a little self-conscious, right? Because when we are in front of students, no matter how old, I mean, we are vulnerable, right? And kids, adults too, but kids are forgiving and loving, and they see kind of they'll see the little things like, you got a haircut, miss? Or miss, you're missing one of your earrings, or miss, your sweater sweater is backwards. But they also kind of see like your orb of light.
Right. It's kind of like you can be yourself in a way, almost like more than anyone else around kids.
For sure. Yes.
Yeah. Well, something to consider, because I always, whenever I would hear you sing, I'd always lifted my spirits. So I hope you sing in whatever form.
I appreciate that.
But something else I want to talk to you about is the places teaching has taken you. First off, did you do a lot of traveling before this, or has that kind of opened your vision to the world?
I mean, my family would do, my aunt, my grandma, my grandpa, we would do like road trips to like California every year. And they really liked to take us to Disneyland, me and my sister. And their idea was if we went after the school year started, no one would be there. So I actually didn't see the first 3 weeks of school until I was in 6th grade. Now as a teacher, I can only imagine what the teachers felt about that.
You know, it's really important for your student to be here.
I know.
But that's a good point, though. It's a lot cheaper, probably, all these.
For sure. And I mean, I didn't know any different. I thought that was great. But when I was about 4 years old, right around the corner at the Kiva Auditorium, my aunt and grandma took me to a show of Up With People, which is really funny to kind of talk about, and watching this group of young people from around the world travel around the world at this international cast. It was just something that really, really stuck with me. So over my elementary, middle, even high school years, I'd see them here or Las Vegas, Nevada, where my family ended up moving for a couple years, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to sing in this show, and I wanted to travel around the world with a bunch of young people. So they came to Vegas when I was in 11th grade, and I was a little too young to interview, but I convinced them to let me interview anyways, and got accepted. So I knew that after my senior year, I would have the opportunity to go travel with them.
And where did
I mean,
you travel?
I was 18 years old. I had gotten a scholarship, and my grandma, who just loved me so much, I would definitely her mijita, helped pay for the other part of my tuition. And I was with a cast of 150 young people, ages 18 to 28, from about 24, 25 different countries. And I was so young. I was so young. And we traveled across the U.S. on both sides, spent a month in Canada, and then we spent about 7 months in Europe on buses, always living with host families, putting on these shows in like gyms and parks. And when we were in Spain, we were singing in bull rings, little tiny shows on army bases and really big shows somewhere in Denmark, right? So I got to see a lot of different places. I got to be with a lot of different people. I feel like that was really that
planted the seed of
of traveling, of humanity, I think it just really solidified that I wanted to be a teacher, and I wanted to kind of take all those experiences into the classroom. And then I didn't really travel as an adult so much. And when my daughter was little, we would travel some. I took her to China when she was about 8 years old. We went in 2011, which was a big deal for both of us in that way. But then I started to learn about different teacher programs where teachers got to go teach in other countries or travel, see other places, do research in different places. So when she became a little older, I started to apply for programs like that. And that first program was called Teachers for Global Classrooms. It's still around. Teachers can apply. And I got to go to Colombia for 3 weeks with other American teachers to learn about Colombia, but then spend 2 weeks embedded with a teacher and her students in Cartagena. And that was amazing. Yes, to be able to see schools somewhere else, to be able to get an intimate look at teachers and students' lives, to be able to put it in the context of another country and other, common set of values and different sets of values, to be with children who were learning in different conditions and in different ways. In Cartagena, it is hot and humid, and we were there in August, and the schools were crowded. So one group went at like 6 in the morning till noon, and one group came from like 12:30 to 6:30 at night. And it was just, it was beautiful. And that really was, oh gosh, it was addictive. It was addictive, right? And so I had applied for another program, Fulbright Distinguished Award in Teaching, and another teacher down the loop applied for one of those too, right? And that's the year that you got to go to New Zealand, and that was the year I got to go to Finland this semester. And that was quite an interesting opportunity too, right? Because it was multiple months. It was a research fellowship, so we weren't in the classroom.
It was a little bit more than just a visit. It was kind of living someplace.
It was. And Fulbright programs invite you to bring your family with you. They give a little stipend. So I took my daughter with me. She was 12 years old, and she did half of her 6th grade year in Finland in a neighborhood school. She had quite an education, right? And I had the opportunity to visit lots of schools, really think about what global education looks like, global education policy, got to do this project, kind of got to take a break from the classroom, which was really interesting too. And that's, I think, where I got to see, especially with my daughter Sarah, that our teaching careers are, gosh, they can be anything, right? They can be really what we make of them in that way. And it also inspired me to think about teaching in another part of Albuquerque. So when I came back, I moved schools to teach at South Valley Academy, a public charter in the South Valley of Albuquerque, because I guess I wanted to see if I could teach there too, right? At Mount Mahogany, we had beautiful, diverse, amazing students. And when I got to the South Valley, there were beautiful, amazing, diverse students. But for the first time in my career, I was teaching with kids that looked like me. And I didn't even know, right? I grew up in a household that spoke Spanish. And I'm from Albuquerque. And working with kiddos who grew up in Albuquerque, who are immigrants, who bought back and forth between here and Mexico, but still being in front of a group of kiddos that actually looked like me and mirror back was something I didn't know that I even wanted or needed until I had it. And that was quite extraordinary too.
And how many years were you?
I was there for 5 years, good 5 years. They were beautiful 5 years. And when I got there, I realized the importance of continuing this path that I started to take, right? This path of trying to see where else teaching could take me. But I started to understand that when it took me somewhere, it was my obligation, it was my privilege to take kids somewhere too. I can't literally take them, but I can try to take them. So when I was teaching there, I applied for a program, a different Fulbright program, to go to Peru. And we got to spend a month in Peru. I was with 15 other American teachers, traveling across Peru, visiting some schools, really immersing in culture and geography and language, and coming back and really thinking about how do I create learning opportunities for my students, so that, not to mimic Peru, I think to start to think about inviting kids into the possibility of intercultural experiences.
Yeah.
And then that's when National Geographic came along in my career. They have lots of classes for teachers and different programs, and they have a program called the Grosvenor Teacher Fellowship. And I applied one year, and I didn't get it. I didn't get the fellowship, and I applied the next year, which is humbling, and it's such a good experience for me and for students to see, right? Like we can do it again.
Yes. Right, because they think, she does whatever she wants to, but it's like, no, we all
for sure. And also like thinking about timing. And I have to tell you, it was so funny because I had applied, and then we started in January of that year, 2018. And the first day that we were back from winter break, the kids and we made like these vision boards, right? So what do we want our 2018 to be? And we had magazines we're cutting up and we're gluing them. And so I had put them around the room. And one day in February, I thought I need the room because we were going to do these big maps. So I went in early and I took all their vision boards down, and I had mine, and I had it on the chalkboard with a magnet. So it was there. And the kids were there, and I was giving them back, and I said, mine is still here. And it had like penguins and icebergs and things like that, and National Geographic across it. And I said, I applied last year and I haven't heard from them, so I'm probably going to apply again next year, and it'll be okay. And literally the phone rang, and I went over, and across the little screen on my school phone,
like while you were in the classroom.
It said National Geographic.
Wow.
So they told me the great news that I was going to the Arctic that spring. They asked me not to really share the news yet.
Sure.
And I asked, I've got like 25 8th graders looking at me right now and watching me emote. Can I tell them? And they're like, yes, you can tell them. And then
I wish that would have been captured. That's like out of a movie. I hope they'll make a movie of your
so
life, and
beautiful.
that'll be a wonderful scene.
But one kiddo, Jared, he says, Miss, and he points to the vision board, Miss, that was surreal. And I thought, okay, you just used a really great word in a really great way, and that was really surreal. Wow. So being able to kind of amp up with this experience with my students in that way, and
just
really,
be like, is this my life? Is this really my life?
It really was. It was joyful, and it was, it was just kind of like about possibility. Incredible. Right? Wow. So I ended the school year with them literally on a Friday, and Thursday morning I'm getting on a plane. I'm flying across the United States. I'm flying to Norway. I'm getting onto a ship called the National Geographic Explorer with another teacher from Princeton, New Jersey. And we are sailing around Svalbard, not too far from the North Pole. We ended up being about 400 miles away from the North Pole. And there I am with polar bears and bearded seals and reindeer in Arctic waters, and it's icy and it's cold and it is gorgeous. And I think that's when I knew that I could leverage what I was doing to make experiences for students in that way. Because it's not enough for them to be like, oh, Miss, you got to go see the polar bears.
Right.
That's not it, right? Because I can't take them with me, and there's only so many pictures that kids want to see, and only so many stories that they want to hear.
Yes.
And National Geographic was amazing that way. They offer a lot of opportunities. I wrote a grant, and I was able to leverage a year-long program the next year for all of our 8th graders at our school to visit wilderness spaces in New Mexico. Not extraordinary, but in terms of what teachers every day do and opportunities that teachers make for their students every single day.
Yes.
But the next school year, there we were, out in nature. We were doing day trips out into wilderness areas across New Mexico. We were doing night trips, like night camping trips in wilderness areas, kind of north of Albuquerque. And then we prepared for our 4-day backpacking trek into the Gila in the spring, and having about half of our 8th grade class join in that opportunity, because it was new, and it was a little scary, and some kids had a lot of experience, some kids had no experience, some kids had no experience and learned from this experience. And it was also 2019, and working with immigrant population, and working with families who looked me straight in the eye and said, "You're crazy if you think I'm going to let you take my kid into the wilderness," right? And being very humbled by different people's perspective, right? Driving south toward the border with immigrant children is not a safe endeavor for a lot of families. And I was just so humbled and so grateful for the opportunity for families and kids who did do that, and I understand completely why they didn't. But being out in the wilderness with a bunch of 8th graders, we packed in our own food. They're cooking over these little these little burner stoves. We made it to the Gila River, and the big thing was that everyone was going to poop in the woods because we were out there for 4 days, and that was a big accomplishment.
Yes.
And that was extraordinary, but it felt there was something missing, and mostly it is, even though I grew up in a household that spoke Spanish, I didn't learn Spanish, and I'm not unique, right? So Gen Xers like me exist where we grew up in Spanish-speaking homes, and without the kind of mandate to speak Spanish. And I meet people like me all the time. And I know that Spanish is the heart language for so many of the students that I was teaching. And when they were out in the wilderness and then they were telling their story to their family, they were having to take their experience that they experienced through an English lens and translate it into a Spanish lens. And I needed something different. And that was my indication that it was time for me to pass it along, right? And passing it to a teacher who's his home language is Spanish. He relates to kiddos' culture. He was going to be able to do it through an art lens, as opposed to a humanities lens that I was bringing to it. And that was a really beautiful thing to be able to say, I'm not the right person to do this work that has so much potential for kids' lives, to be able to let them know that they belong in wilderness spaces, they belong in outdoor spaces, where the data shows, who's out there in nature, who's not out there, that kids could embody this space at this time, and putting the program in the hands of someone who could kind of move it forward in that way.
That says a lot about your humility and just the way you see the big picture of things. And I think that's something that only years of experience can you be able to step back and say, ultimately I'm a teacher because I want the best for kids and I want their experience to be a certain way, and to be able to make that decision.
And I appreciate you talking about the experience there.
And we're just about out of time. We need to have another episode.
That was my 21st year of teaching.
Wow.
When I got to that point. So when I think about
the timing of it.
When I think about the trajectory, the lifespan of a teacher, some teachers are in for a couple years, some come and go, and it is just a journey. It's just our journeys, how we make it through our teaching career, we're able to make it to meet our needs, how we're able to make it meet the needs of our students, and then how we sometimes get out of the way so that a new generation of teachers can come in and make their mark too.
Well, that's very wise words. And from where I am sitting and from observing your life and getting to see the little bits on social media, your career, it's a work of art. It really is. Like when you think of something that you can sometimes you can step back and think, wow, what I've done. And I really hope you'll come back, because I would like to do a whole show just to hear about your travels and see some of the pictures, because we just touched on it, but I know there's so much to that, and I hope you'll come back again.
I appreciate that.
But it has been such an honor to know you and to be inspired by you as a teacher and as a human being, and for all the students who have gotten to connect with you.
Thank you.
And the fact that you're working with new teachers gives me a lot of hope in our future of education.
Thank you. And the connections we make, the connection how I got to meet you,
Yes.
how I've gotten to see your journey and your story too. It's been a privilege and a joy.
Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much, and
Yeah.
God bless you and your family. All the
Thank
best,
you.
and definitely look forward to having you back.
Thanks,
and
Seth.
All the best.
Thank you.
All right.
Everybody's got something that nobody else has got. Everybody